Folks, another day, another Bert. Yesterday, Jack Crosby and I, we previewed Dynamite, and at the end, we kind of did a informal announcement that we'll be running it back, right, for a review show. Um, I'm very excited. This feels like a victory lap of sorts on a personal level. I think Jake, you're gonna share this with me, this grin that we're gonna get today. But we have a lot to talk about. Jack, how are you today, pal?
I'm doing very well, despite the fact that we were owned last night on the show. You had a good end to the show, right in the
Yeah.
middle. You and I, oh, did we get it shoved up our asses?
Thing of these preview shows, I've realised is like it's almost impossible to get something right because the way they book, most of the stuff you'll get right is going to be predictable, and when you get it wrong, you get it way wrong, right? So, but you at least went in the right direction with one of the things we'll talk about. So it's kind of a dub, right? I don't know. Take victory where you can, pal.
Sometimes with AEW, sometimes you're happy to be wrong.
Yeah, yeah. I think there's one case of that here, and there's one that isn't that we'll get into later. But the end of the show is a big triumph. So we'll cover this thing. We'll go in order. We'll just talk segment for segment, traditional review style, like all of the boring fucks do across wrestling media. Wardlow and Sean Spears, brother, your guy Wardlow, as over as ever. This was really, and I mean this is a compliment in this case, but it was very un-AEW. This was some sports entertainment in a good way. This was like
Yeah.
1998 WWF Raw. This Raw, Jake, what did you think of Wardlow and Spears in the cage and MJF and all that was going on here?
This whole thing has been masterfully executed,
Yeah.
and last night was the last portion before you get to the main course on Sunday, and it was perfect.
Mm-hmm.
They did that, and yeah, you're right. It was a little sports entertainment, but that's when it needed to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes AEW is going to have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And if the people are going to eat it up, like they have, then you have to go ahead and do it. Oh, that was perfect. And the shot of Wardlow on top of the cage, just telling Max, like, you're next. I'm going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you're so dead on Sunday. And honest to God, I know we'll probably do a Double or Nothing preview show at some point, but and it's really not going to do it. Wardlow needs to, I think, just murder him on Sunday. I don't even think you need to play with shenanigans for Max to win. I think Wardlow needs to just murder him.
I actually agree. And you and I have talked about this yesterday, we talked about it before. Like, I have some concerns about what you do next. I think we both kind of concluded the TNT title way that the chat suggested is a good way. But I will say that watching this angle play out, I think it would be a major risk to do, heat booking here. No, I think it would be a mistake.
Yeah. Don't. And that's why I'm saying, like, 6-7 minutes. Just kill him. Just kill him. And I understand I know what they're gonna do. Like, he's gonna hit Wardlow in the balls or something. Like I get it. But if I would honest to God shy away from that. I would shy away from that. Just have Wardlow kill him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. Spears here did a tremendous job, as we've been talking about, and was great. Obviously, this was not about the action itself. Do you think this is more effective, this kind of wrestling in AEW, because we don't get a lot of it, whereas in other places it's kind of the norm, this kind of story more than match? MJF is like on his own in this thing. Him being the special guest referee is like the least AEW shit ever, and it worked perfectly. But I think part of that is it's not done too much. Does that make sense? Like, this is on its own as part of the show.
And it also speaks to a larger point of something in the news cycle right now of this is why AEW can't let MJF go to WWE.
Yeah.
Because the kid's not going to fail there. He's not going to. Like, he's so good at this.
Oh, yeah.
MJF going to WWE would be like Cody. Like, we all agree that Cody just fits better in WWE. Even if it's like it's just better for Cody. It is.
Mm-hmm.
MJF would make it seem like the same way. I know people would say, well, he can't say half the shit. But Max is so good, he would tell WWE, okay, all right, then I won't say, but I'll do this instead. Like, he's so brilliant. But no, you do though. You can do this in AEW, but when you have the perfect pieces, and there are the perfect pieces here with Wardlow, Max, Spears. Yeah. It was just perfect.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's interesting because I agree with you totally. I don't buy into the idea that MJF would flop in WWE. I just don't. I don't think that's what would happen here. I think he'd go over fine and be a great addition to their TV. I do say though, I think we have to be careful with like how much money is WWE talking, and how much because brother, this may be a Cody situation where he's more valuable to them than AEW at this point. I don't know. It's weird, you know.
No,
It's
no,
intriguing.
a bunch of things. MJF comes across as somebody Bruce would love. No joke, not a bit. Bruce Pritchard would love him.
Oh, and he
Cody
does
would
love him. They did it. Remember at MLW they crossed paths. Bruce was a big fan,
Oh
so it's a real thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cody would just stick up for him. Obviously,
Yeah.
Cody would push to Vince, hey, this kid's $1 million. Like this is $1 million. This kid's $1 million. So WWE would shell out all that money for him. That's why like people like I get people in WWE get quote unquote buried all the time. But when WWE makes a strong investment in something like Cody Rhodes,
Right.
like I remember people saying, well, he's like, no, they paid too much money for Cody.
Yeah.
And look what's like. That's why Vince McMahon's a businessman first. So they would have money for Max on the trajectory that we're going in 2024. They'd pay a lot of money for Max.
Yeah.
So no, he would get the top guy.
I think so. And I think he's hugely valuable to them because he's a guy that's under 30 and is like a top guy, which they haven't had for, some time. So I think it'll be interesting how it pans out. It's another topic for another day, obviously, but it is worth touching on. Okay, we both agree Wardlow needs to just win this thing, right? Go just win, brother.
Just win, just win. And again, my suggestion: keep it short and keep it like a squash.
Yep, it's a great way to start the show. Crowd was absolutely electric. The visual you talked about of him at the top of the cage was extraordinary. I think we've got nothing but praise for this, right? The whole thing has been a home run.
Fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely. Jericho threw a fireball at just some dude backstage.
I can't with this guy, man. I can't with this fucking guy. Yeah, it's so weird. I want to be, Chris Jericho. I want to be mad at him sometimes. Like I want to hate him. Yeah. Like not like in a pro wrestling sense. Like I just want to hate. Like get the fuck out of here. Like I don't want to see you anymore. But then there's something that pulls me back. I'm like I know. I want to see him. I don't know. It's so strange. Like my relationship with Jericho is just so friggin' strange.
I don't think you're alone. I think most of our audience is like that. It's like I see every fault and every flaw, but I kind of pop for him being around, and I find him to be fun. And he's just I love
how so many people busted his balls about. Well, if you're a heel now, why do you still have Judas? So Chris was like, all right, well then my new shtick is I'm just going to stop the song.
It rules, and they explained on announcing that he gets paid for it too, which is even better. That rules. All of this stuff, I actually genuinely, and it's only early days, but I genuinely think this faction is a way better fit than the Inner Circle. This faction makes way more sense to me as a group.
I don't know if
I never got Santana and Ortiz never fit with Chris, man. It was a weird dynamic, you know.
Part of me wonders if the booking,
maybe
was part of that. Again, but I think we've collectively agreed in the past, Santana and Ortiz not having a tag team title run during that prime Inner Circle, that was a fucking mistake.
I just think 2.0 are a way better fit to be Chris's lackeys, you know. That's my thing. I just think that's a big. I agree with this, and again, as Jake said, we are going to do a preview show at some point, probably Friday after Rampage, probably. I think the Heels are going to win, and then they'll do Blood and Guts right now. That's where I'm leaning.
I think Jericho's team gets the win on Sunday. I agree.
Probably makes sense, honestly. All right, big segment. CM Punk, Hangman Page. You and I talked about this in pretty good detail yesterday. I've been really interested and genuinely found it fun to read all different takes on this. I really like the segment. I thought Hangman's delivery was great. His content has been a major topic of discussion.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot of good. There's some bad. Jake, what did you think of the big face-to-face segment in the ring?
I thought it was okay, but again, we're talking about, we just talked about yesterday, how the build has been underwhelming. So there really wasn't a high bar to clear.
Yeah.
This was more this segment was more like damage control than anything else. It's all right, we got one more shot at this to make this seem like the most important thing on the show. And That's tough. Main event, like the main event of the show, I would have considered putting this on last instead of sandwiched right there. So just to give it a little extra oomph. And I know AEW doesn't like doing, like talking segments to end the shows, but I think I would have at least given thought to make an exception for this, just because of how everything's been going. I said, all right, let's give these guys the final spotlight on the last Dynamite, just to give the perception that this is the big deal.
So I have a few things. I think firstly, the crowd's reaction was very encouraging, right? Like the crowd's reaction was electric for this. There was a slight confusion to it, but I think that's what they were going for. The crowd suggested this is as big a deal as we hope it is, even if we would do things differently. I think the crowd tells you like they're in on this, right? Hangman's promo, I will let it play out, Jack Crosby. And here's for why. It was vague and kind of all over the place, but I think that may have been the intention because they want whatever Punk's about to do to be more surprising than obvious.
Again, you're right, because here's the thing. The story here, and this is what people are missing. Hangman doesn't know why he hates CM Punk.
Right.
He doesn't know. He's pumping himself up because this is CM Punk. Hangman is trying to fire himself up because this is his toughest challenge. This is CM freaking Punk, for Christ's sake.
Mm-hmm.
But he doesn't actually know why he hates like that. I truly think that like it's not convoluted on purpose. Hangman doesn't know why he hates CM Punk. And in reality, here's the thing. He doesn't hate CM Punk.
But I think that's half the people are reading it that way, that it's like a self-confidence thing. But there's also a belief that it's more about Punk just being like a phony. But I don't think they picked a lane. So I think people are kind of, like he said this, like Chops in the chat. He said that thing about like when the cameras are off and all that stuff. And I just don't. But again, I don't know if they explored that well enough for it to be like a thing, unless he turns heel and then it's like, well, that's what I was talking about,
But again, Hangman keeps throwing out different reasons why he doesn't like like Punk. He could just perceive Punk to be a dick, when in reality, like it could just be like CM Punk was busy doing something, and gave him a quick handshake and didn't really talk to him because he was busy doing. And Hangman didn't realize that, and Hangman's like, well, this guy's a dick.
It was, I think part of the way you're reading this is based on the fact that maybe at one point he just made a comment about workers' rights and then moved on. And it was like, oh, yes, I don't know. I think it's obvious they're trying to like, the way that Punk started, he's part of the promo and was like, I love all you fans. And, or like he's being overtly babyface in a way that suggests I think he's going to turn heel. I think is what's going to happen. I think there's a lot of moving pieces here. Jack appears to have frozen. I don't know if Jack can hear me. Jack, can you hear me? I don't think Jack can hear me. But look at poor Jack Crosby, all pixelated. Bless his heart. Okay, he sent me a message here. I think while I fill in the famed dead air here, Jack will tell me when he can hear me. Can you hear me? I can see you, but you're not moving very much. What? You're breaking up a lot. I don't know why. That's fine, pal. Try and remedy it while I'll fill this in.
All right, let me try this.
Okay, cool. I think it was a very compelling segment, and I think you can certainly explain Hangman's behavior easily. I don't think it's like wildly confusing or it doesn't make any sense, and I think it will make more sense after Sunday. I'm pretty confident of that. I do fear, though, they have not told the story well enough on TV. I think, and I see it in the chat.
How's that?
I mean, you look great. You look great for most of it. You were just breaking out, and at the end there, you just...
it started kicking out there, and then...
Uh-oh. Well, look at this. You're breaking up again, pal. You're getting the shit kicked out of you by the internet. He's unlike you, Jack.
No, everything's fine.
The one with this.
Everything is streaming.
Everything is fine. I don't know.
Everything's fine. The golf is on the ESPN Plus right here. It's streaming fine.
You're fine now. You're breaking up slightly, but you're fine. All right. the King Claudio comparison I like, but I will say that I do think it's way more in character for Eddie Kingston to act like unnecessarily hostile than Hangman. I think it feels slightly out of character. That's what I would say. But I like the segment. Where are you at on the finish here, Jack? What do you think? What should be the finish on Sunday? Heel turn?
Yeah. I texted the great Bob O'Neill last night. And I told him, I said, I'm about 95% convinced that Punk is turning heel.
Yeah. Feels like that's where they're going. This is just me. And, folks can disagree. I know Meech is famously anti-Punk. I do not know if this is how the wider AEW audience has perceived CM Punk. That he's been a smug prick the whole time. I don't think that's how it comes across to everyone.
And plus, keep this in mind. And I say this with love. Tony Khan is a nerd.
Factual.
Double or Nothing takes place right as summer starts. He's going to want to run his own Summer of Punk.
Yeah.
Deal. I mean, I could 1,000% see that he's going to want to run his own Summer of Punk.
He's definitely going to wrestle Samoa Joe as world champ this summer. You know that, right? That's going to happen.
Yes, it is. And buddy,
100%.
Yeah, he's going to wrestle Joe. He's also going to wrestle. I didn't even realize this. Somebody posted this yesterday. I don't look at those AEW rankings.
Yeah.
I stopped looking at them a long time ago. But somebody posted yesterday. They said, "Hey, quietly, John Moxley is number 2."
Yeah.
And I said,
him and Punk is a big one.
That's what they're going to do. So they definitely. So that's why when I started thinking of opponents, I was like, okay, yeah, Punk can wrestle Mox. Yeah. Punk can wrestle Joe.
Danielson.
And
Omega when he's back. There's some killer matchups, brother. There's a lot of matchups. I'm torn on it. Like, Trin and chat debating it. I definitely think there's elements to CM Punk's personality where he's come across smug. The Eddie Kingston feud's the obvious one where he played that up. I just don't know if enough of the audience sees that you're going to get like a big, I don't know if they're going to boo Punk doing like a low blow on Sunday. I guess is what I'm saying. I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out.
You really need someone to drive home the point, and I mean really drive it home to Punk. If you want the reaction, he really has to go in there and say, somebody has to go in there and say, you've become John Cena.
Yeah.
Like, you are John now.
Did MJF what did MJF say? Was it a Triple H or was it a Cena?
I don't think he did. I
think they did that somewhere. Someone did that. That's the thing. I'm sure of it. But someone thought a lot of people alluded to it.
But
yeah, I don't know. And this is absolutely it. Absolutely it. It's this idea that Punk knows it's annoying Hangman how like chilly is about everything and how like I don't know why you're mad. It's good shit there. I just don't have to fully explored it. That's all. But
that goes back to our problems with the build.
Yeah. See, I don't know. Joe says it sounded like over half the crowd was behind Hangman.
For a little bit there. Yes, it did. It was weird. For a little bit there, yeah. And then by the end of the segment, the Hangman was getting booed up the ramp.
I don't know if they were. I don't know. Maybe I'm hearing things, folks. It sounded like the folks in the building were more CM Punk fans to me. But I don't know. I could be completely misreading it. I got bad hearing, famously. I do 12 podcasts a day. So we'll see. Anna Jade Cargill, little video package here. It was neat that they did this because this build hasn't been much. Jack Crosby, you ready to see this on the main show, brother? No buy-in for this one.
Well, apparently Tony Khan's not putting anything on the buy-in. If there's a game 7 and he sells
that fucking rule.
Fucking nothing's going on the buy-in, goddammit. Yeah. I'll start this show at fucking 10 Eastern time. Yeah,
that was incredible. He said, how many times in the interview was he like, I don't care who wins. I don't mind. I don't mind who wins. It's fine. Boston, it don't matter. Anyone can win. It was wild, man. This is true, actually. Let me quickly circle back. Punk was definitely more to begin with, but as Hangman cut the big promo, people did cheer and got fired up.
That's why I said a short bit. There were. I knew I heard it. Like, there were people getting behind him.
Yeah, it was split, right? It was good shit. Eddie Kingston and John Moxley versus Private Party. This wasn't much. I would like to see these teams have a real match because this really felt like about the announcers and was just kind of chaos. The final stretch was good. I like Private Party a lot. They've come a long way, man. They're really good bumping heels. What did you think of this tag match, Jack?
I thought it was good. I love seeing John and Eddie together. I love when they come when they're walking through, and it's just like, here come the scumbags.
Yes,
And
yes,
then,
it was.
I fucking love. I do. I love those two together, man.
Mm-hmm. There's something about that entrance. It's like and you can tell JR loves it too. He gets so fired up.
Nothing will beat last year's Double or Nothing though. The first one in front of fans where John came out.
Yeah.
Like they came out to Wild Thing and John's going nuts, losing his mind in front of all the people again. And Eddie's laughing at him the entire time. He's looking at finish, he's pointing at John and laughing at him.
Absolutely
they're so great.
Private Party are a team who, like, when they first came in AEW, were kind of like, they did all of these cool moves as baby faces. They've got so good at heel shtick. Like, they do so much, like, just shenanigans and comedy stuff. And
I've said it before. I've said it before on one of our shows. I really hope that once you get past all this, you get a little serious with those guys. They're very talented dudes.
Yes, I agree. And I agree with this too. I think Matt Hardy did help them a lot as actual wrestlers.
Yeah.
I think, the angle itself was whatever. But, there's something there for those guys. I think injuries have slowed them slightly. But there are other teams that have got more TV focused. I don't think are nearly as good as those guys. And,
I really do like those two a lot. I really think there's a bright future with that. But again, they're young, just like a lot of guys we look at AEW. We say, all right, they're young. There's still time.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. Post-match brawl. You in on all this chaos, all this anarchy in the arena business, Jack? What did you think of all these shenanigans?
No, they're not really.
Something was off about this, wasn't
it?
Something was strange. It was like,
man, I'd rather.
They were trying to portray chaos, but it came across somewhat false. Didn't feel authentic. There's something strange about this. I thought I couldn't put my finger on it. I don't know.
I'm gonna be honest too, and I think this is a testament to his how quickly he's come along as a presence. I mean, I don't like the Blackpool Combat Club without Yuta.
Wow,
they need him.
Big use love.
Because the point of the Blackpool, like most good factions wrestling history, is there's the established guys, but then there's the young guy that they're teaching. And Yuta, he's the one I always keep my eye on. And that means Mox, Brian, and Regal are doing their job. Because when they're on the screen, I'm looking at Yuta going, all right, holy shit. All right, this is cool. You know what I'd like to see, really? I would love to see them do segments where after every Best of the Super Juniors match, he's FaceTiming Regal and Mox and Danielson, and they're critiquing the match going, hey, listen, all right, yeah, El Desperado, okay, he's a veteran. You got caught.
They're not talking about it at all, really, are they? They just said he went, and that was it.
I hate that. I fucking hate it so much. Like, they're ignoring that. Like, build up why he's there. They're like, no, they were cool with him going to compete in the best, even though they have all this stuff going on with Jericho. Because in storyline, don't you think if they have this big thing going on with Jericho, they would tell you to, no, man, you can't go to Japan. Tell me why Regal said, no, take your ass over to Japan. We'll be fine. You need to go over there. It annoys me so much.
Do you think part of it's because he's not racking up the wins? Do you think that's part of it? They don't want to shine a line.
That's why I said that. Figure out a way. Do segments with Regal. Do segments with, where they're coaching them and saying, all right, okay, this isn't what we wanted, but hey, you're learning. At least this is a learning experience. We all did the Japan deal at some point. Now you got to do it. Have Brian say, I got my ass kicked by so-and-so when I went over there. It'll matter.
Yeah, absolutely. I do agree with this personally. This is actually where I'm at. I think this is fun, and I think I'll enjoy it. I do not think it's the best usage of Mox, King, and Brian especially, but, Garcia too, but those three, namely, let's be honest, Danielson being in a 10-man, brawl isn't, particularly inspiring me, but I think I'll enjoy it. I think it'll be fun, so I'm kind of in the middle on the whole thing.
Well, at least AEW has proven that with these chaotic 10-man, 8-man, whatever they do, they're usually pretty fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And I do think also, it's a bridge to Blood and Guts, which will be a blast, I think. Okay. Video package. This is a little thing, but I have to mention it because it's important. Great job doing that video for the Owen tournament and actually resetting things and giving it some prestige and importance. Dude, Joe's promo here was fucking incredible. Like he's like you do with all fancy things. You put them on the anvil and destroy them. What the fuck is he talking about? Dude's out of his mind. It ruled. O'Reilly is so goofy. Bless his heart. He looks like he hasn't slept in some time.
I love Kyle.
You see, he's like, Shoot texts me that his wife actually said, poor Kyle's eyes. Kids keep him up at night.
I mean this. I really do think, especially since he confirmed the other day, it's a 5-year contract he signed with AEW. Kyle, he's going to be the world champion someday.
Wow.
I do think Kyle's going to be the world champion.
I
think at some point he's going to hold that title.
I think Kyle was a great wrestler. I just think he lacks those extra ingredients, man. I don't know.
I think I'll actually disagree with you a little bit. I think what happened was Kyle was an established in-ring worker all of his time in Ring of Honor and stuff on the indies. Then when he got to WWE, he started to pick up the entertainment portion of it.
Yes.
And I think Kyle now in AEW, he's going to be able to put the whole package together like completely. And I think he's going to really win everybody over.
I think he's great. I just think his brand of entertainment is too silly and kind of goofy to be world champ.
Then he could switch it up, tone it down, turn the volume down a little bit.
I'm not. You may be right. You may be right. I don't know if that's the role for him. I think he's great though. I mean, I just think his role is kind of like MMA shoot fighter Bobby Eaton, that's what he is. Like tag guy who gives you good singles matches. That's just me. We are at the half-hour mark here. We started a couple minutes late, but I don't want people to tune in at the exact time to be robbed, Jake. So let's send it to our pal, old Bobby O'Neill, for the famed, the iconic Bert line news. Here we go, folks.
Thanks, Joe. Morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Thursday, May 26, 2022. Robert O'Neill here with the Bert Line News. Got 3 games to focus on. We'll start the NHL. The Carolina Hurricanes and New York Rangers continue to battle in their series. And then heading north of the border, the Edmonton Oilers and Calgary Flames will continue the battle for Alberta. Switching gears to the NBA, the Western Conference Finals rolls on. The Golden State Warriors, Dallas Mavericks head back to the Bay Area, and I am picking my lock of the day, Golden State -7. Think they're going to close out the series and head to the finals. And that's it for me. See you guys later for Grin Game Night, and have a good day.
I can't keep doing this if this motherfucker's just going to be talking about fucking hockey. I can't keep doing this. I must leave the room or something. I don't give a shit about the National Hockey League.
You should do what I do. Just don't listen to what he says and just pop at the different presentation he goes for. Like he's in the car now, like he's Kevin Owens, and he's like doing this kind of. He always looks uncomfortable. It's amazing,
Bobby was on his way to the grocery store to pick up some apples and some snacks and was like, "Oh shit, I got to cut the video for Joe. Hold on." Pulls over on the fucking side of the highway. All right, tonight the National Hockey.
He always appears uncomfortable as though he's not the one recording it himself. It's really quite the deal. I don't know if Bob's got a future on the old Cameo website, but anyway, speaking of being owned, Roppongi Vice, FTR, they were having one hell of a match. Slightly challenging dynamic with FTR's baby faces because usually you'd have Rocky making the big hot tag or, Trent. FTR baby faces now, brother. That's Dax's role. So that was a little bit of a challenge to them, I thought. But they're having a really good match. It was really picking up late. And then we get Jeff Cobb, the Great O'Khan. We talked about some New Japan influence. We did not mention these two gentlemen.
We ran down everyone we could think. And literally, hours later,
yeah,
we got the answer to our question. It's fucking Jeff Cobb and the Great O'Khan.
Yeah. I was happy to see him, though, honestly. It was better than the options we kind of pitched. If we're being real.
I thought it was a nice surprise. And they've got the always entertaining JR not knowing who the hell someone is.
Yeah. This other guy, let me tell you.
This guy with Cobb, his friend.
Incredible. Great O'Khan is like a really, in a world where everyone kind of wrestles the same way, the Great O'Khan is fucking awesome because he completely operates at his own pace and rhythm. He's really fun. Jeff Cobb's a beast. Everyone loves him. Everyone loves to deal with him.
I think the actual way JR put it was he was talking about how big Cobb was. Jeff Cobb is a big man and his friend is big too.
Yeah, he did. He was like, We know Jeff Cobb's about us, and this other guy, look at him. Come on. He's a big guy. He's doing some stuff in there.
Come on, look at this lad. Look at this lad over here. Look at him. He's got some beef on him.
It is worth saying that there was some messy elements to this angle they did here. A Trent like put himself through the table at the end. That was hilarious looking.
But I mean, I'll tell you what. Obviously, is it going to be a triple threat at Forbidden Door like Roppongi? Because that's New Japan themed, really. Like,
I honestly think,
and then
I think this is going to be a TV match. And it will just be a part of the build to Forbidden, like giving you kind of appetizers. You know? Yeah, I think that might be what they do.
I mean, I'd be okay with that too. See, I kind of took it as they were setting that up for Forbidden Door, like that.
Well, the only thing is, and I know this sounds dumb, but like a Ring of Honor title match on the AEW versus New Japan card just feels slightly unnecessary, unless it's like a unification or like a.
I mean,
I'd rather IWGP tag titles, get them on there. But this is the problem. This is our problem, Jack. It's fucking Farley and Chase Owens are the tag champs. So what are they doing? Like, we don't want them on the show. Fuck that. We just did the Ring of Honor titles. Dude, come on.
Somebody went to Tony and said, all right, Fale and Chase Owens are the IWGP Tag Team Champions. Tony went, listen, I fucking own the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship.
We can pretend. It's fine. I don't know. I think this is clearly the best team to bring in from New Japan. And I will say, like, and this is another example of what we talked about earlier with sports entertainment and stuff, like, any finish can work if done well and correctly. And while the execution of some of the post-match was bad, this DQ was an example of why you don't do too many DQs, because I actually felt like I was robbed the finish and they got heat with me. I was like, oh, fuck this. You do it all the time.
That's how it's supposed to be.
You know? Yeah, exactly. So are you, like, as a fan, I find it encouraging when he does stuff like that because it shows you that he's not completely locked to his like way of doing things. It was a different finish for that. I thought it was a good sign. What did you think? Yeah.
No, I enjoyed it. I kind of like the Wardlow. I have no complaints about this. I don't. Yeah. I'm a big Jeff Cobb. I love Jeff Cobb.
Oh, he's great. And it was great. You know, it's always good to see Rocky Romero wrestle on Dynamite because I just think he's just one of those guys that never got the love he deserved. No. Always fun when he gets to wrestle on this stage.
They were they were talking last night. Rocky's like a 567-time tag team champion.
I think he started wrestling in New Japan in like 2003, 2004.
Yeah, Rocky's been there. I've been watching Rocky Romero wrestle for a long time.
Have you ever heard the story about when Scott Norton was talking to Machine Gun about how New Japan used to work? And he goes, you remember Rocky, you was there. And Cole was like, what the fuck is he talking about? Rocky's only like, because he's not old, he's just been there for so long. He wasn't there in the 90s, but still, it does show you how long he's been around.
Yes, I did. That comment on the bottom. The Great O'Con's. Did you see Great O'Con's tweet from Vegas?
Yes, I did. It was
my God. What a man. What a worker.
What a worker. Someone on Twitter said last night that he's like a good way to gauge who like pays attention or not. Because I watch very little New Japan, but I watched like 3 Great O'Con matches. Like, oh yeah, this guy fucking rules. People would think he sucks. I don't know. Maybe I'm being too kind. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I've met people who think he sucks, and I just question what's wrong with him.
Do you punch him in the face?
Yeah,
immediately attack them.
I want to. Like there's no reason for Great O'Con slander. I bet you confirmed Shoot doesn't. Well, no, Shoot would just say who? Who the fuck is that? He got
fired up though, because he texted me. He's like, seems like this guy's really like. He's really wacky and may kind of suck. Am I going to love him? And I was like, you're going to love him. But I don't know if he sucks, but he definitely marches to the beat of his own drum. You know, definitely. I love the idea of you walking around like headquarters, shaking hands with people and being like, what do you think of the Great O'Con? I think he sucks. Go fuck yourself, man. Okay. The Hardys did a promo. It felt like they wrapped this promo up like 4 individual times. So anyway, Young Bucks this Sunday. They did that like multiple times, Matt did that. Bro, Jeff is so fucking weird. It's awesome. Like, his whole vibe. Jeff Hardy cuts promos like there's nothing he would like to do less than cut a promo, and the only way he can get through it is by popping himself, right? Like, just doing weird shit. But Matt was really good here, I thought. Like, it was a good promo. What do you think, Jeff?
Like, Jeff Hardy's like, listen, I'm just in this business to try to fucking kill myself. Okay? I'm not going to get there through talking. Talking isn't going to kill me, okay? Like after 20-some years, how have you people not figured this out? I don't want to. I'm here to kill myself.
Just give me stuff to leap off and violent, dangerous pain to endure.
You show me what I could jump off. Like when I get to a building, show me what I could jump off of. That's all I'm here for.
Yeah. He was, I mean, I like this promo. I thought it was a beat long, but it was I don't know, man. I'm all for just doing promo segments to just add some juice to these matches rather than just throwing up the graphic every 5 seconds. Like, give it something, you know?
At this point with these two, I'm like, just give me the match. We know it's going to be good. Just give me the fucking match. Just let's get to Sunday. Just give me that.
Is there a chance the Hardys win and they're actually going to do like a nostalgia run? What do you think?
No. I don't think Matt and Jeff would want to do that, to be honest with you. I think if anyone goes to them with the idea that you're going to go over the Bucks, I think Matt and Jeff will go, no, not happening. I think they just love it. I don't think they'd go for it. Huh. Unless you presented them a long-term plan where which I don't know what that, like, I don't know what that plan would be, but like if you presented a good plan to them of, you go over on Sunday at Double or Nothing, but then here's how we're going to string this to All Out, and then the Bucks get you.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird thing to book.
But if this is just a one-time thing, I can't see Matt and Jeff being like, yeah, we'll go over. I can't see that.
Yeah, look, put in the chat saying, I think what I'm thinking. I think they may win this one. I really do. I think they may do the full nostalgia run, brother. We'll see.
Do we have tag team champion Hardys incoming? You think so?
I think so. I think that could be a thing they do. And on it, look, they're an iconic team. I ain't going to sit here and get mad about it. Like the champs now aren't. But it ain't the most exciting thing. That's all.
No, I wouldn't be angry about it.
No.
Absolutely not. Like we can't sit here and say stuff like, we'd like to see Samoa Joe be the singles world champion.
Exactly.
We can't sit here and say that and then go, we don't want to see the Hardys be tag team champions. You can't do that.
I'll be totally honest. I don't think their style was aged very gracefully, but I do think people are dramatic about how bad like these matches. I think the match on Sunday is going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
And if it is really good, then fuck. Like if you want to be chance to be, I guess for me, and this is like, look, and this is fair. Santana and Ortiz we would both prefer they have been champs 2 years ago. So I get it. But I guess what I'm saying is, unfortunately, the tag belts are not in a position where I'm going to be mad at the Hardys winning them, because right now they're not like, it's not like the tag belts are, this kind of sacred thing at this point, are they? This be real. So, whatever. I love this next match. We talked about it a lot yesterday. I'm real fired up to get into it again. Ricky Starks, Swerve Strickland, and Jungle Boy. Brother, all 3 of these guys look great.
Yep.
Ricky absolutely just bossed the scene when he had the heat, and he was taunting and fucking having fun. But I gotta say, before I throw it to you, I have to say, and this is putting you over more than it is me. Swerve is fucking special, man. He was extraordinary here. I thought I love this match. I love these 3 guys. I love all of this. Jay, what did you think of the triple threat match?
When Shane Strickland is the top guy in that company, you're not going to be able to shut me up.
Yeah.
I'm like 2 hours. I live like 2.5 hours away from WWE headquarters in Stamford. I might fucking drive up there. I'll get arrested.
Sitting outside blurring ain't nobody.
I am going to drive up to your right. Sit there with the fucking bull box. But I will say this. In the match last night, Ricky stole the show.
Yeah, that's fair.
Ricky stole the spotlight. That dude, man. Like, look at
he's got it, bro. He's got it. Just the 3 guys and Jungle Boy. We know Jungle Boy. He's gonna have his time in the sun. Absolutely. He's the youngest guy here. Chat mentioned yesterday. He's the youngest guy here. Jungle Boy is great. The thing that's so exciting about Swerve is, as good as he is, he's so different in ring. Some of his weird like evasion things he does, where he'll just like roll out of the way of shit and stuff, and like he's just fucking cool, man. He lands on his feet on stuff.
That's the thing. He's just cool. He's just cool. Like he has that Dwayne Johnson.
He's special.
Fucking type. Like you look at him, like he's that dude's just cool.
Yeah. It's very, very, very exciting to have these guys mixing it up. I'm not a big triple threat guy, but if you do it with guys like this, you're going to get a hit every time. Like that opening sequence when they were just stringing stuff together, absolutely seamless. Wonderful stuff. The post-match. Oh my God, the post-match, brother. They do like the big men come out and like Luchasaurus running down the ramp is one of the funniest visuals. They immediately cut away from that. Did you see that? They showed Luchasaurus running. It was like,
yeah,
don't move.
That dude, our pal the dinosaur.
Yeah.
I love him, but like ironically.
Yeah, it's just fair. Keith Lee came out and like he did one of the most extraordinary, violent-looking things. Like that dive he did. Dive's honestly not even the right term for it. He flattened them dudes. That was fucking incredible looking, wasn't it? Like a crash.
It scares me. Not as much as it scares me when Big E used to do the dive through the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
And then how about that? Then the dude breaks his neck and it's not his fault. But
yeah.
Like that, it used to terrify me. Big E, I used to cringe. I'd be like, oh.
I always think about stuff like that. You know, like how like a Seth Rollins will do all of the shit he used to do, and he does a fucking sunset flip and his knee gets torn. It's like, what is the luck of this?
Somebody threw out an engagement tweet a few months ago.
Sorry to hear that.
Something like that, whatever it was. But they were like, what's one move you'd be cool to never see in wrestling again? I said a dive. I said the dives. Just get rid of the dives from wrestling because something bad's going to happen. Something bad is going to happen. Like
all of them.
Something bad's going to happen.
They do one in every match.
Somebody's going to, yeah, I understand that. And that's why it was so kind. But somebody's lawn dart their neck.
Yeah, I get you. I don't know. It's all so.
And you always have somebody. Yeah,
I don't know.
You always have somebody out there too. Like I don't mind them generally, but yeah, you always have people out there like the Miz who doesn't know how to catch people, doesn't want to catch people, whatever the reason is, not good at it.
Have you considered though that like sometimes someone like Keith Lee does this and it fucking rules?
Oh no, it's awesome looking.
This wasn't. What is this called, Jack Crosser? You're not a moves name guy like me, are you? Do you guys know what this is called? What he did here? He did like a flip in the middle of it. I know there's a rotation of something.
It's like a corkscrew type.
Chat. Tell us what this was. Because
what was this?
It wasn't a dive, right? It was like
a corkscrew plancha.
Yeah. Let's do that. Corkscrew plancha. There you go, folks. Crosby's got it figured out. All right. Love the match. Love the post-match. There was a Dan Lambert promo. Whoever said it in the chat, they're doing the Lakers belt. Right? I think that's where we're going here. Jack, you excited to see this new TNT title, brother? Oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you cut out right as you said Dan Lambert. That was hilarious. Yeah.
Are you excited to see Scorpio's new TNT title?
Yeah, it's the Lakers one, isn't it?
I assume so. Yeah, the chat seems to. Remember they talked about this yesterday, and we both kind of pretend we know what they were talking about. Yeah, that's what's happening, I guess.
Yeah, but now after last night talking about.
Yeah. Thunder Rosa promo. Jack, you're freezing. Thunder Rosa promo live. I thought this was clearly the strongest promo of this program. I liked it. I thought it was a really good Thunder Rosa promo, and I thought it was necessary to give her a chance to do this and kind of redeem some of the up and down efforts during this feud. Jack, what did you think of Thunder Rosa's promo?
It was good. I like the little touch of no face paint, and she was like, "Look at me. This is me talking right now."
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool. I mean, it was one of the better Thunder Rosa promos.
Yeah.
And you can't really
good job.
Put that on her because they haven't put her in the best situations.
No.
So they gave her some time to get some shit off her chest.
Yeah.
And the only botch was at the end there where they started playing her music and she kind of finished.
I'll be honest. There's a perception online that she's not a good promo, and I genuinely like her as a promo.
No, somebody said she's like really she's self-conscious. I might have this backwards, but she's self-conscious that she curses too much in English.
Oh, okay.
Like she's really good, but she relies on swear words a little too much, and she's like self-conscious about it. She kind of slows herself down, or else like she'll start speeding up, and be like "fuck you, bitch, fuck you."
That would rule. You should do that.
That's why she kind of slows herself down.
She's always got great fire, though. You know,
Yeah.
Always got great fire. I think she's a good promo, and I actually think like there's this weird overcorrection where like when there's a bad segment with the women talking, people are like, well, that's it, close up the division. It's like, well, no, you just need to pick the right women, the right men. Same thing, right? So I think Rose is a good promo. I think she did a good job.
How many shitty male talking segments do we see? Come on now.
Exactly. That's what I always think too. Sticking on the same kind of line here, I liked the segment backstage with Velvet and Ruby Soho. I like this. Velvet is really enjoying being a heel. Jack, I know you're a big fan. What did you think of this business here with Red Velvet and Ruby Soho?
I thought Ruby Soho did just fine.
Good answer.
Good.
Now, we have some controversy. We have some controversy to tackle here, Jack. Britt Baker, Tony Storm.
Didn't see that coming.
You did not. Many didn't. Many were very mad.
Didn't see that coming. Bobby O'Neill said, I know that was a strange one there.
He texted me too. Bob was very upset. He was fired up. I think it was a mistake. I thought the match got increasingly bad as it went.
Yep.
I will say though that I personally am into the idea of one of the other two baby faces winning the tournament. And I do think there's an argument they should do that against Britt. That's just me, but I don't know. Joe, what do you think?
I mean, if I had to pick right now, I think we talked about this yesterday. I think Statlander beats Ruby. And I think Statlander wins the tournament. I think Statlander beats Britt on Sunday.
I'll be totally transparent. I prefer that to Tony winning the tournament.
Yeah, I think we've already done Ruby, Britt. I mean, but again, if you do, Britt does owe Ruby a win. So
I actually, and this is just me, and I think I'm on an island slightly because I know people are kind of out on her. I genuinely would like Ruby to win the tournament, and I think there's something to be said for her beating Britt in that spot. But the problem is, and we got to talk about it, like, bro, Britt's in-ring performances right now are real disappointing. They're just not it,
And I'm not sure if they were ever really good. I think what happened, but her chase to get the title was phenomenal.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we got caught up in. And it was great.
Yeah.
It's just not, she's not this, which there's nothing wrong with that. But then you have to construct the matches a little differently then. They
never adjust, dude. They just expose her flaws every time.
Like Britt's a star. She gets some of the biggest reactions every time she's out there, male or female.
Yeah.
So, like, we're not saying, all right, fucking fire her or anything like that. But you're right. Some adjustments have to be made.
She has got a real issue, like, pacing her matches.
Yeah.
They had a really smooth start last night, and I was encouraged. And then, like, there's always this point in Britt matches where it reaches a screeching halt and she's filling kind of gaps and dead air, and it's done work. I don't know what the deal is.
It's a perfect point to make because that clip that went viral from Monday from Cody and Miz's match.
Yeah.
I saw a few people point out, like, the problem there was Cody was trying to wrestle like AEW style. And Miz is just like, I don't know what the fuck that is. Like, what are you doing here, pal? Calm down. Cody was trying to wrestle that style. Miz couldn't keep up with it.
Mm-hmm.
And so now what you have to do, you have to do the same thing with Britt almost. Like, you have to say, listen, you got to dial it back a little bit.
Yeah.
In these matches. And then, to that point, you have to tell the opponents, listen, like, here's what we got. You're right. Looks choreographed. Like, these like the AEW style, like, not everyone's going to be a Swerve Strickland who can just fucking do this shit off the top of his head. Like, not everybody's like that. A lot of times you can feel these wrestlers in their head going, okay, this is next.
Yeah.
Okay. And then that comes after this.
But I agree, but I don't even think, like, her problem to me is, like, when the match is not doing the sequence stuff. But when she's doing sequences, she's whatever. Right? But, like, when she's just got to control, like, you know how Ricky did in the Triple Threat when it settled down and he had to just own that scene for a second.
Right.
like in that part of the match, I think she just really struggles to fill those gaps with stuff that the audience is with. Like I've said for a long, I think she should be a babyface. I've felt this for like a year. She wouldn't have to control the matches. She could just sell, and people will be. Because let's be clear, you said it. Let's be very clear, man. Bro, more people in that building last night wanted her to win than Tony. They were trying DMD loud. They rock with.
And
Brit,
we've said this on multiple shows. She's going to have a babyface run, and it's probably going to be better than this heel run.
I think it will be. I think it should be. I think the big thing, and this is the conclusion, man. Look, I think Tony's going to be fine. I wasn't surprised, Jack. You and I talked about yesterday, and I was I thought there was a chance she'd win, Britt. The big thing is, and this is important, Britt cannot win this tournament, right, Jack? Whoever wins it, it has to be Chris or Ruby. We can't do a Britt tournament win.
It has to be Chris or Ruby. It cannot be Britt. It cannot. Yeah. And then I know that's gonna lead into our next thing because there were people convinced that Adam and Britt are gonna have I don't think either of them are winning.
My God. Okay.
I don't think either of them are winning.
Well, let's get to that now. The main event. Samoa Joe, Kyle O'Reilly. Brother, they told me he was finished. They told me to let him go. Big man's back, bro. Samoa Joe's he's got some he looks excited and happy to be here. He had a really good match with Kyle. Lots to talk about here, Jack. What did you think of last night's Dynamite main event?
That was everything we could have wanted from those two.
Yeah.
O'Reilly is fucking fantastic. And Joe showed us that when you give him something that people might doubt him on, can he keep up? Can Joe still do this with the guy like Kyle O'Reilly? Joe was like, yes, I can. Watch me.
He's a smart wrestler, man.
Yes, he is.
How much he got out of the arm, how much he got out of selling that arm was awesome.
Yep.
And here's the big thing, and I said this, and it's one thing I got correct about this whole thing, is he's so over with their audience that he can get a lot out of a little.
Mm-hmm.
He just has to look at the people and they'll start chanting Joe, and they'll come up for him. He's got him, man. How great was that finish? One arm choke. O'Reilly was trying to pull the up. Dude, that was an amazing finish.
He choked him out with water. And Joe was good. Kyle did it. Oh God, he was amazing. Right. That was peak Kyle O'Reilly right there. When people ask you, why do you love Kyle O'Reilly? I point to that match. That's why everybody loves Kyle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. He looked great here. He really did. I thought he did a wonderful job of adding motion to the match. I love the early part where they were doing the kind of shoot fighting entry, right? Mm-hmm. And they were kind of that stuff looked way better than it usually does. Both guys know what they're doing in that arena. Really, really good match. Joe is not, who he was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, but he's got something left. And I think, when you get him in these kind of big programs, when he's onto the Owens done and he gets in a program with a Punk or an Eddie Kingston or a John Moxley, I think Joe's got some juice left to offer here to AEW. So you think Joe's beating Cole? Really?
No.
Yeah. Why is that? You think a babyface win?
I just think Joe is a good. I just couldn't talk myself into Joe beating Adam, and I could be wrong. But if I was Tony, I would leave shenanigans out of this because it's the Owen Hart tournament. I wouldn't do this fucking Sanjay Dutt, Jay Lethal, Satnam Singh bullshit. I would just leave that both matches 1-on-1, no interference. Let's just. And if that's the case, no, Joe's going to beat him. Because again, Adam Cole's so good at what he does that he'll find a way out of it.
I don't know. I think Cole wins. I think Britt loses. I think it's where I'm going. I think you'll get a promo on Friday with both of them.
But again, one of those situations where if Cole wins, I'm not going to be shocked. I'm not going to sit here and go, oh, holy shit. Of course.
Yeah, I think this episode did a good job, I think, of adding some importance to the Owen. Joe getting through that match felt like the first time where it was an epic journey to the final, which it hadn't felt like at all.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's interesting who will take it. I just think the big thing of this match, I'm not saying it'll be a Matt Classic or anything, Jack, but the crowd is going to be electric for this Adam Cole Samoa Joe match, aren't they?
Oh God. Oh yeah. This might be the match where you get the loudest reactions as the match is going on.
Yeah. What do you think of this, Jack? They both lose. cut a promo on Wednesday and get interrupted by the Garganos.
That would be awesome. I love that idea. And I know people would go, Johnny and Adam, here we go. Yeah, but what's it been for them too? Well, when was that feud? 2017? 2018?
I don't know.
What's it been, 4 years?
I don't know. It feels like a lifetime ago. I'm not desperate.
No, that'd be a great idea though, to get interrupted by the Garganos. That would be awesome.
That'd be cool.
But then again, but then you say to yourself, it might be even better if they both win.
Well, let's not.
And are out there. Well, no, but I mean, it sets it up. Think about it. It sets it up better if they're out there bragging that they bought, and then the Garganos show up.
Yes, but also no. Let's not do that. So come on, man, talk me into this shit. If Cole wins, seriously, what would he do next? He'd have to face Joe for the TV title. I don't think he'd have to. I can't imagine next step. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the answer really, win or lose. I think it remains to be seen, right? I don't know. I mean, it depends when Kenny's back and stuff.
That's the thing about tournaments. Like, you're just like, okay, what is you're like, what did they do next? Like,
yeah,
they didn't really win anything
because Joe's clear. Like, they're gonna do Joe and Jay, and they're also gonna do. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do Joe and Orange Cassidy versus Satnam Singh and Lethal, which is funny.
I can't wait to see this Satnam Singh dude wrestle.
Oh, he's gonna be terrible.
He's gonna be terrible, and we're gonna love it. We're gonna be out here going 8 stars. 8 stars. We're
gonna have a great day. I'm hopefully he's really good, but like his first signs of physicality are not
encouraging.
No, I wouldn't say they're particularly encouraging. I would say Gresham and Lee were in this initially, but it's definitely the best friends now. They helped Joe last week. They came out and saved him, so you're going to get some of Orange and Satnam Singh, I'd assume. If you win the tournament, I assume you get a title shot. The winners of the tournament have to get something major, right?
They would have not. They would have not, unless they pull like a last minute like surprise. Like remember Triple H let the Cruiserweight Classic get down to the final. Remember, and right before the final match, he goes, "Oh, by the way,
there's a belt.
This is for the new Cruiserweight title." And they're like, "Oh shit, you can do something like that, I guess."
I don't know. I think he'll probably just move into a big time feud, right? Cole will. I mean, I don't know who with necessarily. Maybe they do like him and Darby or something. That's what they'll do because Darby's linked. Sting and Darby are linked with the Elite now, right? They beat up Sting. They'll do Darby and Cole in some form or fashion. I don't know. I mean, I do understand the thinking because if Joe wins and it is a title shot, you can do the Joe and Punk thing we talked about, maybe. But it'll be interesting. Here's the main question here, Jack. Chat, I want you to leave your rating out of 10 for Dynamite. Jake, what would you give this episode of Dynamite out of 10?
A solid 7.
Yeah, I'm in the 7 to 8 range.
7.
I must admit that I'm, biased in the Joe thing is a bigger pop for me than most, but I'd say 7 to 8 is the range for me. The real question, though, I'm looking at the chat, mostly 7s, 8s, that kind of range. Did you leave this more excited for Double or Nothing than you entered?
Yeah, because Adam Cole and Samoa Joe is awesome. Yeah. Punk and Paige did a pretty good job. But the main thing is I really want to see Wardlow beat the shit out of Max.
Yeah, I love how that match pops you. I hope it goes the way you want it to. I think it should.
I do.
I think it's always interesting watching them figure out the go home. Like this one, I thought this show didn't flow necessarily, but I thought they did a very good job here of balancing, giving people good action, but also let's get this build sorted out. I think it was a good balance. I think you and I have our overarching issues with some parts of the build, but I think, look, we have no doubt Sunday's going to be a killer show, right? I think we know that's going to be a great show. Yeah, so
it's going to be great when we're watching it here on the East Coast at 3:00 in the morning because the Celtics Lakers and Tony was like, keep it going.
Dude, that interview was extraordinary. He compared it to the Canelo fight.
Like the fucking like the business people at the T-Mobile Arena would be coming to Tony going, you got to be out of here by midnight, buddy. And Tony's going to be going, I got an extra $1 billion. It says I can stay here however long the fuck I want.
rules, man. Like, he's going to be sending out the hardies and being like, hey, guys, I need 35 minutes. Figure it out, you know? They've gone to overtime. Hold the finish. All right. Anyway.
Matt,
Jack,
Nick, figure this shit out.
Jack, any final comments, thoughts, plugs, promotions?
No. I'm really excited about Sunday. This is gonna be a great fucking show, man.
It is. And speaking of great shows, tonight on this very platform at 7:30 Eastern, we are doing the Grin Game Night, which I'm sure will go great. Trivia of some kind is being prepared. I do not know what this will look like. Hopefully, it's fun. Tomorrow night, we're going to do. This is the plan, folks, as far as I know. When Rampage ends, we're going to come to Twitch and do a pay-per-view preview. Then we're going to go straight from there to behind the paywall for the Late Night Grin, where we'll review Rampage and we will list our top 40 professional wrestlers in AEW's 3-year history. That is tomorrow. That will be the final touches here of our live content. Saturday, Jay Shell's Wrestling with Whiteness documentary drops, and we'll be posting an interview after it. That's basically our week. It's been one hell of a week. We appreciate all you for joining us along the way. We are now, after today, we should be affiliates here on the old Twitch gimmick, which means we get them like emojis and all that weird shit. You know, the kids are in there.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, we get all our funny faces. Can we put in the chat? Good stuff. But in the meantime, folks, enjoy this outro. All hell.